Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Krakow Football Live podcast. This is our second episode, and if you're still listening after the first one, then you must be really on board with what we're trying to do here. Today, I've got three guests Adrian,
Cześć.
Błażej,
Cześć, hello.
and Kuba.
Welcome, everybody.
So, these guys are a part of the Dragoons football team here in Krakow, and all three of them are local lads, all Polish. Well, maybe a couple of them are from a bit further away than Krakow, but they're pretty local compared to the rest of the football team. Um, Adrian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I think I'm most local because I'm from Krakow, right? So, I'm really local here. About myself, probably I'm one of the youngest in the team. I'm 22. I'm playing in the team since 2 years, I think. Błażej invited me to training, then I start the games. And I'm working in real estate in normal life with Kuba, by the way. And I think that the basic info about me.
Thanks a lot, Adrian. And Błażej.
I was probably the first Polish guy actually in a team, which was made it to a team. I did invite Adrian to a team because I felt a bit lonely, and I used to play in lots of teams in the villages next to Częstochowa back in the days when I was living there. But when I moved to Krakow, I basically focus on studies and work, and Krakow Dragons was my first proper team, and it's actually made me stay because I felt attached to the team because of the whole atmosphere. It's there and stuff. So that's why I'm here on this podcast right now as well, I guess. And with a couple of my friends now on the other side of the speakers as well. Yeah.
Over to you, Kuba.
I'd like to greet my mother at first. And right now, to be serious, actually, I'm the newest, I think, on the team. One of the newest transfers in the team. I'm really proud to be part of this team. What more? Like Adrian said, we're working together. We met some time before, and I decided to join you because I think it's a really good opportunity to meet a lot of people from around the world and to build something really, really good in a Krakow when we're talking about football.
Thanks a lot, Kuba. Well, this is quite interesting. Having you guys as Polish players, who all of you, I believe, have extensive experience within the youth footballing system within Poland. So, it's quite intriguing to know why you guys decided to play for, say, the Dragoons instead of, say, another bigger Polish team. Um, Adrian, you're someone who comes from, we could say, a footballing family. You know, your father's a coach. And why did you choose the Dragoons?
Uh, my father isn't a coach. He was playing football right now. He has something in common with football, but he's not a coach. He never was.
Okay,
Not like verified coach. He was coach for me for sure. Anyway, why I decided about Dragoons? I decided because of Błażej, to be honest, at first. But then atmosphere and all everything on the training get me attached to the club. But mostly, like telling the whole story, I finished my adventure, let's say, not career, let's say adventure with football when I was 19, and I get like four injury of the knee, and I finished playing with Garbarnia then. Then I had a little break, so I didn't play a lot. I meet Błażej, and we with Błażej played like once, two per week. And then we decided one day to join some, normal club playing 11 aside, not just small game. So then I got invited by Błażej, and I decided to join in this club because of the atmosphere of the training and opportunity to play with foreigners. To be honest, playing with foreigners as well give it opportunity to me to speak English fluent, like speak English every day, and I'm sure that really helped me improving my language. Right?
I don't know, Adrian. What do you guys think?
uh, he's getting there. He's getting there.
He's trying his best to
But
learn.
to be fair, if I can add my 5 words to that, it was actually when me and Adrian met together. We used to work for the clubs, like we're promoting clubs like Prozac, Labadega, and stuff. And we decided, like, we met and we like, we both liked football, and we decided, like, oh, let's go join some team together. So at some point we're like just playing on like Ageha pitches and stuff, just playing together. And at some point, yeah, Justin brought me to Dragoons game, and I was like, I messaged Adrian and I was, mate, that might be something going on here. Like, come for the training next time, and like we might join these guys and stuff. Yeah, that's I remember the beginnings, how we started. It was like, yeah, it was like basically me and Adrian like together. It was like within like two weeks, like we joined together.
And so, why did you decide to, stick with the Dragoons, Błażej? Because obviously you played
Uh,
for youth teams as
yeah,
well, right?
yeah. I used to play in Częstochowa. I played for three different teams here, and with like pretty good like academies and stuff. But like then I moved to Krakow for studies, obviously, and stuff. So for like for at least 3 years, I didn't play football at all. And yeah, there was of course, I started missing football. So the guy from the work, I still work there. Guy was like, we play every Tuesday with some. The guy was Aussie. He's like, we play every Tuesday with some foreign guys, like just for fun. I'm like, I might join. I'll come see what's happening. And I came like one time, second time, third time, and I was like, it's pretty cool atmosphere here. It's like it's nice to stick around with those guys. Then I invited Adrian, and like we just stick around till the team was like pretty much made. So that's how it happened. Like sometimes like you're not even meant to, like it. When we first came for the game with Adrian for kickabout, we never thought it's gonna be a proper football team at some point. But like it happened, and like we're probably very happy about that.
I just want to know from you guys, how it feels, being within a team that's in Poland, and your main communication is actually in English, between your teammates. Does what kind of like impact does that have on you and your thought processes? For example, Blajay, what do you think of that?
In my opinion, because I used to play more than 10 years with only Polish guys and stuff, and under Polish coach tactics and stuff. It's nice thing. It's a new thing as well. Uh, Definitely new thing. I like that everyone has a different understanding of the football as well. I'm learning from every teammate. I'm learning something different. Everyone has a different understanding of the football. Everyone thinks everyone has a different tactics and stuff. Because to be fair, like when you being grown only in Polish village football teams, there's not much going on. You basically have like same tactics, like same tactics in each team. Like there's not even tactics, like just some coaches trying to do some motivational speech, and that's it. Like but when I play with those guys, I learn new things. Like they know different football, kind of. They teach. I learn so much. That's very educative, and it's way more fun. Definitely way more fun to play with these guys. I can enjoy football way more than playing just in a regular Polish team. Definitely.
Oh, that's cool. Um, Adrian, do you find it's difficult to communicate with other players sometimes, or do you think that because it's English is the language everyone's using, that it's not so bad?
Yeah, like I don't have any difficulties despite language to communicate with people. Sometimes when I'm frustrating on other players, I feel some difficulties on this, but in every other segment of the playing, don't have any difficulties. Maybe you have bigger difficulties in the communication of the team because on the training sometimes the people can't understand you, right?
Yeah, yeah, it can happen. You know, it's just trying
Yeah,
to
it's
get.
also frustrating for me for the training that sometimes we are doing just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're trying to put something across, I think Alex always says it to me that we're trying to put something across, and some people just do not understand what we are saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm doing it with someone who is also speaks a different language to me, right? And we seem to understand each other. So I hope that everyone else understands it. Um,
Because it was never an obstacle to me because like I joined the team because of the work I used to work from the guys from foreigners. But yeah, I guess like the newcomers to the team, like especially Latinos or whatever, they might not understand properly or like your British accent or whatever. But you always do show the exercises and stuff, so I guess it's easy enough.
Yeah, like it will take a time, but they will understand for sure. I will agree with you, Błażej, what you said previously about the fault in the team. Like we have many players from many countries in Europe and not Europe, and we can learn from everyone, like Portuguese, uh, English. English football is completely different than us. We can even learn from Italians like Edo, etc. So yeah, basically everyone in our team thinks differently on the pitch.
I would consider Adam more Dutch, mate.
you're breaking his heart already. But Cuba, you're new, right? So you're new to the team, and obviously for you it's a big change from having coaching sessions in Polish to coaching sessions in English and instructions in English. What's it felt like to you?
Actually, when we're talking about the communication outside the pitch, let's say not talking about the game, it's not that hard because, come on, I think we all can speak English properly. But for me, the biggest problem is when we're actually playing a game and when you want to scream someone, "What's your back on? Pass to me on or anything, my ball." It's really hard for me because when I want to scream it, I want to scream it in Polish, and then I have to process the information that the player which I'm playing with right now can't speak Polish. So it's taking 1, 2, 3 seconds more to process the information that I have to shout in English, not in Polish. I think the biggest problem for me is to communicate on the pitch while we are playing the game, not while we are talking during the training or getting the information from you as a coach on the training ground, but on the game because you're getting the ball, you're screaming, "It's mine," and I have to think, scream mine, not moja, like I used to do it for 12 or 13 years of me playing football. So I think that would be the biggest problem. So processing the information that I have to communicate in English, but during the game,
So that's a big change if you think about it, considering that you've been doing something for so long, and then you're having to flip a switch, and do something different and in a different language, right? So
Yeah, it is true, but I think it takes like up to 3-4 months, and then like you get used to it. Because it was same for me and Adrian, and like we got used to it. Like now we use like proper English slang, I guess, on a football pitch.
do,
So
do you think?
Because it's not about the vocabulary or accent. It's just, when you're playing football for 12 years and screaming on your players in Polish, it was like an impulse right now, right?
Yeah,
You
it's the
see the guy
impulse.
coming
I
for
know, I
for a
know,
guy,
I know,
for a friend, you're
I know,
screaming
I know. That's what I said.
Klasa in Polish, and right now you have to
I know. That's what I
scream
said.
"Watch
It
your
takes
back"
like
or anything.
I know. That's what I said. It takes like two,
And
three
it's two,
months.
3, 5 more seconds more, but it takes 5 seconds more. And when you're screaming it for
Yes,
Błażej,
but that's what I said. It takes
to be
two,
over,
three,
right?
4 months, and you'll get used to
hmm
it, and you switch to English comments and stuff. That's
I won't deny it. I'm just saying that right now it's the biggest problem for me to
Yeah,
communicate
yeah.
on the
fair
pitch
enough. Fair
and
enough.
outside the pitch.
Fair enough.
No, no, it's a good point. But if you think about it, you can compare it to what professional footballers have to do, right, when they change countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, it's really, really nice because we're playing on the really, uh, for now, I hope not for so long, on one of the lowest levels in the Polish
Yeah.
league. But I feel like I'm a pro footballer because I'm playing with the guys around the world, and it's really, really nice.
To be fair, yeah, I do feel the same because I used to play in the other teams, and I did feel like I'm playing in a village. No offense, but now I'm actually like the whole atmosphere on the team and on the club, how it's run and stuff. I feel like I'm playing in a proper team. That's a nice feeling. That's definitely that's yeah.
Yeah,
I
actually,
think
everyone wants
And,
to achieve the goal we had on the beginning of the season, and it's really nice.
yeah, there are proper goals, proper coaching, proper aims and stuff. Like it's not just like just not just kicking about anymore. Like
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
we have
We
something
have
to
a
achieve.
plan. We want to achieve something, and that's the goal. Exactly. Not going for the training to meet your friends and kick the ball for 2 hours, but do something to get a goal. Yeah, exactly.
About the communication, I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's just the legends, but apparently, like Sergio Aguero still doesn't speak English after playing what 7 years in England already.
I've heard this as well.
Yeah, he's just banging goals.
I've
Come on,
heard this
it's like Adrian, right? He can't speak English, but he's banging goals.
Yeah, he's speaking goals. Yeah, but what I'm saying, like, you can only speak you only have to speak the football language at some point. Like, you don't have to speak the country language.
There's good points there. Um, but I'm going to shift the discussion, to broader um, discussion about Polish football. Poland's a big country in Europe in context to a lot of the other places. Sorry, to a lot of the other countries that we have. There's close to 40 million people here. Um, the top league clubs here. A lot of them have very wealthy owners backing them, or they've borrowed a lot of money. Um, but at the moment, the Polish league is ranked 29th in Europe. So, you're behind Romania, Bulgaria, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Israel, Kazakhstan. These are countries that Poland should not be behind, right?
I wish there would be a simple answer to that, but unfortunately, we don't have an answer to that. It's very frustrating. We got knocked out. Legia Warsaw got knocked out from the Europa League qualifications by the team from Luxembourg, Dudelange, 2 years ago. That's extremely frustrating. Like, and looking at the budgets of our teams and at how big the Poland population is as well, and as football is number one sport in the country, it is extremely frustrating. And to be fair, me as a fan, I have no idea what's going on, why it's happening like that. It's actually it's I would say it again. It's fucking frustrating.
I think the problem in Polish league is that I never went pro in football, but from what I'm looking at, like you said, we got 40 millions of people in our country, and the football is actually number one sport in our country. So the biggest problem for me in the biggest clubs in Poland actually is they're not paying attention to the academy and to getting the young prospects from their own clubs, but bringing players from around the world, paying them
Yeah,
crazy amount of money for playing in our league. And I think they should focus on Polish players, especially young players, because when you look at our national team, I think there are a lot of players with really, really high quality, like our main striker, Captain Lewandowski, midfielder Zielinski and Krychowiak. I think there are a lot of players who are Polish that play really good football, but there are not a lot of good players in Polish league that can do the same. And I think the Lech
yeah,
Poznan right now is really good example for a good job they are doing because they're investing in their young prospects in the academy. They're focusing on their own players and not bringing players like I don't want to say because but I should. Legia Warsaw, they're bringing players from all around the world, paying them crazy amount of money for just being in the Polish league, and the players are more like an advertisement, like the player who played 2 games in the Premier League and is coming to Polish league like an advertisement, not football quality. And I think that's the main problem.
that's true. But also, yeah, Lech Poznan. That's the only team which has. Probably Lega is a good academy as well, but Lech Poznan is the only team which which actually using the academy properly, which takes advantage of academy. Probably out of 20 players which went to top four leagues from Poland to top four leagues in the last 10 years, 10 of them was from Lech Poznan. I can name probably a couple of them. It's Lewandowski to Borussia from Lech. It's Kędziora to Dynamo Kiev. It's Luneta to Sampdoria. It's Bereszyński. He went to Legia, but then he went to Sampdoria, but he was originally from Lech Poznan, obviously. It's Jan Bednarek against Southampton. Uh, there's probably a couple more. I forget about them now. It's David Kovnacki as well. He went to Sampdoria as well. They actually earning so much money on players from academy, and that's proud. Lech Poznan should be a role model for the other Polish teams. But yeah, it takes time for our league to develop, for all the teams to develop as smart as probably Lech Poznan, and then our league can go up a little bit, I guess. But at the moment, we're just stuck because we keep doing the same scheme. We keep buying the Balkan players, keep buying them some Serbian, Croatian, Belarusian, Bulgarian, 30 odd ex stars, paying them 100,000 zlotys per month, trying to win the league in Poland, and then getting knocked out in the first round of qualifications to Champions League or Europa League. That's a round. Like we in a loop at the moment. Poland is in a loop. All our teams are in a loop. So it's pretty frustrating. That's how it looks like.
I mean, it should be frustrating because Poland has a really like strong history in football. You had great teams in the 1970s and 1980s. Third place at World Cups. And a couple of those guys have been the presidents of the football association, right? What's the guy called at the moment? Who's the judge? Um,
Zbigniew Boniek.
was
He
he
was
1982?
he
Played the 1982 World Cup? No.
yeah, 1982. He came second in a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, here's a Juventus store.
You had these kind of players before, and even now, Polish national team has a lot of talent. Obviously, most of it is from abroad, but there's obviously something really, really wrong here in Poland because you should
I can tell you because
just gonna say,
Mhm.
yeah, like you're behind all of these teams. But another like question I have is like maybe Adrian will know about this because he's been involved in a number of clubs. What do you think of the coaching? Is the coaching good enough at youth level?
It's a very hard question, Ash, for to answer. Uh, I would say that coaching here in Poland it's based on the level of the league, because sometimes here in Poland league, especially smaller leagues, when Kuba can very well say it about that, when the youngest players who had a talent are going straight to older teams, because older teams doesn't have enough players to play, and then they are like not developing technical and other very important stuff which they should do when they were youngsters, right? Because
Yeah,
basically like you know the best, when you want to develop a very good football player, they need to have some periods in their life when they like focus at most and some special part of the football game, right? And here in Poland, we have many situations like this. For example, when I was a youngster, when I was playing in my first club, Bieżanowianka, we had very good team in when I was, I know, 10, I think 10, 11. And then suddenly, because of the problems with the board and the problems with the cash flow in a club, the team was like the coach left us. We couldn't go for the games, etc., because coach didn't get the money for training us. And then whole team, like 22 very good players from my year, didn't go anywhere further. Just me and two more guys who were the best in the team go to the Garbarnia this time. But basically, I think many times in Polish clubs, like smaller clubs where you can find very good talents, it happens something like this when first of all they are sending to older teams when they are youngsters and not like develop the skills yet. And second thing, when your team is getting destroyed and many of the players didn't found another club because like they didn't get pushed to this, right?
okay. So that's means that you think that it's a structure of a lot of clubs, right? In Poland, which is not helping players. Basically, players are either not reaching their potential or they're just dropping out of football completely and playing with their friends.
I think I think it's another problem in Poland, especially because I was living really. My hometown is like 60 kilometers from Krakow, so it's not far away. And we're having our hometown team. We had a really, let's say, golden years when you're talking about the youth teams. 2 years, my year and the guys 1 year older, were on the municipality tournament. Let's say my team, and there were a lot of teams like Sandecja Nowy Sącz, who's right 2 years ago. I think they were in Ekstraklasa. Putting Nowy Sącz, the best academies in Poland, they were on this tournament in our hometown. No one knew where do we come from because no one knew about our village, and we were third there. And the problem is that no one actually contacted the best players we had there. And they, in my opinion, they could be easily in extra class right now if they had anyone to help them develop their talent. You know, to take their
I think
hands,
it's about the agents as well, man.
take their hand and show them you can not have gain something in your life for football. You got a talent. Let's help you to develop it, and then we'll help them. And they finished playing in our league actually in fifth league in Poland. But when you're talking about their talent, they should be in Ekstraklasa. And I think this is the biggest problem, that there are a lot of players like that in small villages in Poland, and no one wants to look for them. They prefer to pay a lot of money for the players who played years ago 2-3 leagues higher, just to be there, than develop their own players to help them achieve something in football. And I think that's the biggest problem in Poland.
Yeah, that's a classic Polish Ekstraklasa, mate. For example, the best example is Korona Kielce, man. Those guys, Korona Kielce was the only team in Poland this year, 2019-2020 first season, which went the furthest in the youth cups. They almost made the group stage of like UEFA Youth Cup, whatever, and they still didn't give the chance to any single guy from this team to play an Ekstraklasa. They instead of that, you know, because it's actually interesting. I'll actually quote the first team of Korona Kielce because it's actually frustrating to see that the team like this they have at this moment they had the best youth team in a whole Poland, and they never used any single guy. This team this team was actually the youth team actually made something in Europe, and it's still like, oh nah, fuck, the guys are not ready yet. Let's get some Bosnian guys. Let's get 30-year-old Bosnian guys. This is fucked up, man.
Actually, can relate it to the Polish league, no matter which level. I can say it about my team from my hometown, which always trusted in their players from the youth teams. And let's say in our area, we're the smallest village, which is the best team in our area, because we're always Tempo Białka. I love you guys. I hope you'll get promoted to the fourth league. They were always trusting in their players. They were players from our hometown, which were getting, from the B Klasa to the A Klasa to the Okręgówka. Right now, they're fighting for the fourth league. But our area, let's say, they were never paying a lot of money for the players from Krakow and far cities. They're trusting in their own players. They wanted to play in our team to be the players from our hometown. Right now, I think in the first 11 in fifth league, there are 9 or 8 players from our hometown who was playing from the youth team together. So I think this is the best thing you can do, to trust your players to get you promoted to the higher leagues, because the hometown next to us was always investing in the players abroad, let's say from the cities like Krakow, 60, 50, 100 kilometers far away from them. And they're falling. They're falling from fourth league. Right now, they are fighting for the fifth league to be there. And our league, our team was always being promoted from, like I said, B Klasa, A Klasa. Right now, it's Okręgówka. And they're fighting for the fourth league. I think that right now they're second.
Yeah, but
So
Kuba?
it seems like he's cut off.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing is,
Can you hear me right now?
yeah, I can hear you. Cause Kuba, me and you said some arguments like what's wrong in the football and stuff, but the most frustrating thing is like we actually don't know how to fix it. Like what's actually wrong? If it's the owners of the teams, if it's the players, if it's the coaching, like we actually don't know. Like we don't know why we 29th or what you said.
For me, actually, if the best solution is to invest for the coaches who are doing a really good job in the youth team, and not paying them the least money you can pay them. Because if anyone is doing great job in the youth team, and actually that's again the example of my hometown team, we had a great coach who was really great person and a coach. And right now, I think 10 players from the team he was coaching is playing in the fifth league and fighting for the promotion. We should not you. The Polish clubs should be investing in the coaches from the youth team and not the senior clubs.
Yeah, I guess coaching is one thing, but I guess the other thing is like because lots of teams has a good academy already. Like Zagłębie Lubin has a good academy, Legia, Wisła, Cracovia has a good academy, Lech Poznań, of course. It's just Korona Kielce, which I mentioned before, the only team in Europe this season for Poland. We just don't give the chance for the young players. That's the main issue, I guess. And we keep buying those old Balkan players, those old Serbians, Bulgarians, Ukrainians, and
Brazilians.
stuff. Like, just give the chance to our guys. Like, what do we have to lose? We are already the worst league in Europe at the moment. Because, like, I don't consider Litva, Latvia, whatever the other countries like leagues like competitive. They're just playing amateur football. We're not actually concerning them as a proper football leagues. We as a we call ourselves proper league. We the worst league in Europe at the moment. That's for sure. That's for sure at the moment. So we have nothing to lose. Stop buying those Serbians, Bulgarians, whatever players they are from. Just just keep
Invest in
playing
the
your youth
academy.
players. Just keep playing young players. It's a massive country. Everyone loves to play football here. There's lots of academies. Just grow the academies, get our players in, get them, try to keep them in the league for at least 2 or 3 years. Don't sell them to West straight away. Maybe slowly we get to like top 15 leagues eventually. But like it's I don't know. It's I think for all the owners and stuff, it's a short-term business. They like, all right, so we have, for example, now there's a new guy in Legia Warsaw, Michał Karbownik. You probably don't know about him. You're probably gonna hear about him in the future soon enough. He's a very, very young, very prospect player. And instead of like keeping him for like year or two more, Legia Warsaw already scratching hands. They're already checking for the offers. Apparently, some offers from Spain coming already. They're just gonna try to sell him straight away. The guy never was even like he never even made it as a star in Polish league, but they're already gonna sell him for the big money.
That's
But you have to understand that Polish young Polish players, when they're getting the opportunity to move abroad and learn more from the abroad coaches, they want to go, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course, nah, Kuba. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If that would be me, of course I'd move. Of course I'd move. But
Yeah.
if I would be a
So
football
it's hard
team,
to say for the
I
Polish.
know,
It's
man.
hard to say for the Polish clubs to keep their players because if I would be in this situation, I would like to move.
I know, man. But the thing is, they're not even trying to convince them to stay for one more year. They're trying to get profit right away. Profit right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have any
Yeah,
arguments
but
more than
Błażej,
money.
not,
so,
not,
guys,
not even
guys.
money, Kuba, but also development. Look at fucking Ajax this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying no. I'm saying that the money, if you have any argument to stay in Polish league, it would be money, nothing more. Not development, not coaching, not tactics. You won't learn anything.
Arek Milik, when he left Ekstraklasa, Arek Milik, he was a decent striker when he left Ekstraklasa, but he made it to Ajax Academy from Ekstraklasa, and then from Ajax, he got sold for 30 million to Napoli. Like, you have to also made it to a good place as well.
Yeah, but what's the
Look,
difference there and what's the difference here, right? Uh, Ajax for sure have better development of the players, so most probably, better coaching, better
Of
pitches,
course,
everything, right? And that's why you can be
the structure, the
yeah,
whole
and
club
that's why you
structure.
can be sold
Come on.
in Ajax for 40 millions, and you can't be sold in Legia, Lech, or whatever for 40 millions, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
It's like
Like, maximum.
guys.
when you're a young player, when you're 19, what you are going to do? you're going to stay in Poland in like medium small league, or you want to go to Ajax, or I don't know, even Lewandowski to Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, but you also have
So
to you also have to pace it, man, pace your career. You can't just like you can't just leave your team after 5 good games and go to fucking Bundesliga. Sometimes you're like, stay humble. I must prove myself one more season in Ekstraklasa maybe, and then go. Because sometimes you just disappear. Because there's so many also Polish guys which are leaving Ekstraklasa by the age of 19, 20, and they're just disappearing.
But you have to move to the good
All
league.
right, guys,
Okay, Ash, go on.
guys, look, yeah. So like, this is obviously, you guys are very passionate about this, and it's a very deep subject, you know, and what you've said about teams selling these players too early. There was obviously Kapusta, yeah,
Kapuskaya
from
to
Cracovia.
Leicester.
We went to Leicester, and he never made it there, and he's on loan. I don't know where the fuck he
He's
is,
now
but
back in Leicester.
that yeah, he's not at Leicester anyway.
but he's on loan right
But
now.
this is yeah, this is something that, like, Kuba also says the right thing. There's nothing to keep those players here though, because the only thing that can keep them here is money. So going just a little bit back, you guys are saying that we need the teams to trust younger players and stop getting old foreigners. But this kind of conflicts with Dragoons, right? Because Dragoons is a team of foreigners,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Yeah. So Adrian, what do you think about this?
He's a young one though.
Yeah, yeah, this is why I'm asking him. He's the youngest.
I think Dragoons is something bigger than like what you're saying right now, because like to be honest, we are not a club, we are a project, right? We have just foreign
Yeah,
people. We are the only team in Poland who has like I don't know 90% of foreign people in the team, more than 90, I think, percent of the
Yeah.
people. Like we are, 4 Polish people for like 40 members.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's completely different than normal club because like to be honest, I think most of our team didn't like let go the football adventure, let's say, not career, let's say adventure, and they like right now want to play. They then right now they don't want to achieve something big, but this stuff like playing with 90% of foreigners in a team and achieve some promotion, start to play in former Polish league with many restrictions. I think it's a big deal for us, and it's also some challenge, and as well some achievement for us.
yeah,
So that's why, for example, I know me, Bumba, Vitor got a transfer option, like paid transfer option after the first round, but I think no one from us consider even this stuff because first of all, for example, in my opinion and on my behalf, like I believe in this team as a team. I love to play here with a teammates. I see a bigger goal here. I'm not seeing just this season and then okay we'll play. I think this like beginning of start to playing in lowest Polish league. It was great decision, and right now we can develop something which is like I'm not sure even in Poland possible.
But also, what you said about Victor proposition, I was there because that was the game when we played with the team was 3 leagues above us in a
Two league above us.
cup game. We lost like 6-4, and then the coach came to me. He's like, oh, this guy Vitor, because he's like, you speak Polish, you speak Polish. I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, we want this guy Vitor. We want this guy Vitor. I'm like, oh no, he's not coming to you guys. But the thing is, like, if I said to Vitor like, hey, those guys want you, I said to him afterwards. He's like, yeah, it doesn't matter because like, what are you gonna say to him? Like, he's gonna go play with some random bunch of Polish guys which don't even speak English. He's gonna not even speak to anyone in the trainings. and earn what, like 1,000 zloty a month. He's earning enough money to live his life, so he's just playing football for fun with us now. So it's just like this kind of things. Like for example, Bumba as well. He could be playing in some other team, but like here's just like we are kind of we grew up pretty big atmosphere here, like pretty good team spirit in there. So I guess that's what's keeping us there.
Yep.
And we have to divide it because on our level, we're playing it for fun, actually, till the fourth league. And it's no point to move from B Klasa to Okręgówka because it's still for fun, actually. So it's no point to move from B Klasa to Okręgówka when you're doing it for fun. And when you want to go for profitable league, let's say you have to move from third league and higher. That's the difference because there's no use, like Blaise said, to move the one or two levels up from our league because we're all doing it for fun. So our team is not a good example for moving the players.
Fair enough. Let's have a quick answer in because our producer has just asked a question in regards to what you guys think about lots of smaller clubs now having no money and they're going to be disappearing, basically folding. We've had two clubs in our league do it, and the top clubs, of course, are just wasting money, wasting it away. We all know the problems that Wisła had before Blaszczykowski came in to rescue them. Um, what do you guys think about that? So there's rumors that Grabowianka are going to fold, and they've been around for what, 70 years.
The second Grymbałowianka was playing in B Klasa, but the first are playing in 5 league. They didn't fold yet, but they have some money problems, I think. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's very hard to say, to be honest. We don't see the problem in first person because it's like second team are always different, depend on the young team mostly, and many of the players who can play in the first team. So basically, I think Grymbałowianka is a good example for that because they are in a they were found in 50s of the last century, right? And right now, the problem with it is, I think, about two things: about the money and about men's involvement in a team. Because as we saw, we lost with Grymbałowianka, remember that, right?
Yep.
And we lost with full team. Like there was many players from the first team from the 5 league, and later on in a season they start getting walkovers because they didn't have enough players to play. So basically, I think it wasn't just about the money. I think it was more about many involvement in a team, about this example. But if the Grymbałowianka from 5 league would be folded as well, it would be fact because like it's pretty old team, it's pretty decent team. I remember when I was 10, I was going there to play away game. They have very great object. They have great pitch, so it would be very terrifying for the football in Krakow if they would be forbidden. Because I know some players who play in who play in Garbarnia, who play in Hutnik, who were discovered in Grymbałowianka, which is like a big part of like some Polish football, even if they are not that big team. So in this case, they are not getting enough money from like our Krakow City Hall. Right now, like main club Wisła and Cracovia are getting money for the stadium, which is wasting of money, and it's pretty shit. It's pretty shit for these small clubs like us, for example, but mostly like other old teams like Kabel Kraków, Grębałowianka, many other teams. But to be honest, every team has their own way how to handle it. For example, my old club Bieżanowianka is doing well right now. They have found some good sponsor. They built a new object for the club, new cloakrooms, new pitches, and it's going great there. But it depends on the sponsor and depend on the work of the chairman in the club, right?
Yep, I understand that.
I think the big problem about the non-professional football clubs in Poland is that non-professional clubs in Poland are paying their players a lot of money. Like I said, I think from the third league, you're getting pro in Poland. And people who are playing in Klasa are getting like 1,000, 2,000 Polish zlotys per month for playing for the club. And that's the biggest problem, I think, in Polish football when you're talking about the lower leagues. That you're paying your players a lot of money for doing for what we are doing for fun. And in this situation, can be a big problem for the clubs below third league in Poland because you have to pay the players for what they should be doing for fun.
I understand. So, there's basically it is mostly money that's gonna have a huge impact, and it's because of those clubs being wasteful, is what you're saying, Kuba. Right, we're coming up to our time limit now. Just quick answers, yeah, for these questions I'm going to fire at you. Um, from Adrian, what is your ambition for the Dragoons?
My ambition at Dragoons, uh, I think it's hard to say right now. Right now, our object is to get promoted to the Klasa, and that's my ambitions for now. I don't think anything future because, as you know, in football, if we will not get promoted right now, we have another year, and it's our closest goal, my closest goal, to get promoted to that Klasa, right? But I think my biggest ambitions was almost fulfilled this year when we were facing my old team Garbarnia in Polish Cup. We almost faced it because we faced another team, but it was very close to get Garbarnia in the third round of Polish Cup. And my biggest ambition is to win with Garbarnia in I don't know league or football or in Polish Cup. It would be my yeah my biggest ambition in Dragoons for right now.
Right, sweet. Kuba, for you, um, where do you see yourself fitting in within the team? You because you're new, so don't want to put any ambitions on you.
So I would say the same as Adrian because I think our goal shouldn't be more than 1 year from now. So right now is getting promoted to the Klasa, and then we're fighting for the promotion for the second league. And the biggest ambition right now is not change anything in our club. So we're playing for fun and we're playing for promotion. And to get two of these goals together, getting promoted and doing it for fun, not for the money.
Sweet. And Blajai, for you,
Uh, yeah, I guess.
something different.
Uh,
Something different. Not your ambitions.
Obviously the main one is of course the promotion. Like that's obvious, but I also would like to have a double this season. So double figure in my goal statistics and double figure in my assist statistics, and I'm not so far away from that. So hopefully I can make to that. That will be my first season ever I can do that. So I'm setting my expectations for myself as well, and yeah, and I hope this team is gonna go the same way which is going now. I guess eventually, like if we get promoted, maybe next week I can catch some games. But like if the teams go the way which I wanted to go and the board wants to go, eventually I won't be playing for it anymore. But I want the team to go this far, because that's still gonna mean I was a part of the success, and I want this team to go. I want this team to go very far. So yeah.
Sweet. Thanks. Final question of the podcast. This one specifically for you, Błażej. All we need is a one-word answer. Is Frank Lampard the right coach for Chelsea?
Yes.
And that's all we have for today in our Krakow Live podcast. Sorry, Krakow Football Live podcast. Thank you very much to Błażej, Adrian, and Kuba for joining me today.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
I
guys.
just want to say that Mikel Arteta is the right man in Arsenal.
No one asked you that,
Finish
mate.
for me.
Yeah.
No one cares
Hope
about
you
us.
join us next time.
Bye, guys.
See you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
See you.
So thank you for joining us. Hope you can join us next week for a new episode of Krakow Football Live.